everybody. I'm Caden. I'm here to talk to you about my experience on Bay Robotics. So our team, Team 8840, we do all of our competitions through First Robotics, or FRC. It's an international high school robotics league. Every year, a new challenge is released that each team has to construct, design, assemble, and code a robot for. Then competitions are held at regional levels. There's one in San Francisco, and all of the winners get to go to the World Championships. We got to do this last year, and it was amazing. There were over 600 teams and 50,000 spectators attending. It was amazing. Anyways, I'm gonna pass the phone to...
Oh, wait, aren't you? Oh.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah, so this is what our year looks like. We start with a preseason in the fall. We built an off-season robot. Hopefully we'll be able to showcase that. So the kickoff starts in January. We get a challenge video for the game every year. The game includes a game piece that our robot has to manipulate and like an end game kind of mechanic. So this year, or last year, was climbing. We build until March, and then we have our regional competitions. And then hopefully, if we win our regional competition, we go to Worlds like we did last year.
So I'll kind of speak to our history. Our first year, we started in a Pilates studio because we were a community team. But despite this, we actually were able to go to Worlds, which is like, as Caden was saying, the World Championships. Year two, we officially became a Bay team. This year, we did not go to Worlds, unfortunately, but we kind of gained a lot of structure and a lot of planning, which would help us in the year after, in year three, which we did go to Worlds again, due to our basically influx of new members, resources from Bay, et cetera. And this year, we actually got a lot of new members, a lot more, we had Corey, Rusty, a lot more support from Bay, a lot more like financial resources. And then in the future, we're planning on helping more teams grow. So not just our Bay team, but actually helping new FRC teams basically start in other schools and other communities. And just sort of like continuing to grow the team and grow our support.
Okay, so I'm going to talk about the engineering portion of robotics. This is a picture of our team's robot from last year. It was designed to compete in the game Crescendo, which was music themed. So that little orange piece in our robot on the right is called the note. And that's also me next to the robot. Here's a video of us doing one of the scoring mechanisms. So this was called the speaker. We load the note into our shooting apparatus, and it launches into there. Here, I'll play it one more time. So on the bottom side of the speaker, you'll see this like little slot, and that's what our amp is. I'll explain that later, or I'll explain that here. So this is our amp scoring, and this is inside of one of our regional games in Fresno, and we actually won this regional. But here's our robot extending its two-segmented arm and placing it into the amp. It's a little hard to see, but yeah, essentially it was placing it into this. Oh god. It was placing it into that slot in the bottom. Okay. Yeah, and then this is our final mechanism of the robot. It was able to do a pull-up on a chain. So last year's end game was doing a pull-up on a chain. The previous years was like balancing on like a seesaw. So yeah, there's a ton of different mechanisms that we have to design for.
So one of the most important skills that I've learned from robotics is innovation. So the First Robotics Challenges, which a new one is released every year, encourage teams to have their own creative and new solutions to try and win the competition. The most successful teams are the ones that can develop new strategies that can beat out any other team. So our strategy and our design from last year featured a multi-jointed extendable arm and a tall net to block enemies' shots. Possibly the most important skill, though, that we've developed from robotics is teamwork. When there's only one robot and so many people that need to be working on it, we are forced to assign roles and work together. Different people can focus on designing various systems, such as the scoring system, bumpers, or wiring. However, as you can see up here, we often need many different people working on the robot at one time. In this video, we're preparing for a match at the World Championship last year. And in addition to these widely applicable skills of innovation and teamwork, there's also some very technical skills that are very applicable in the workspace and hobbies. These include coding and engineering, where in being forced to design and code a robot, we get these skills in building and assembling pieces of manufacturing that we can use in our future workspaces.
My name is Reid again. I'm a senior, and I will be presenting about the business part of the team. So in this part of the team, you honestly get to do a lot of different things. So for like one thing, for example, is as the main part of the business role of the team, you're basically raising money to fund the robot, to fund the team, and all that sort of stuff. So you actually personally get to go out, write proposals, pitch to companies, and actually get to raise their money, just like you would in any other sort of job or something like that. But you really kind of get to do that as a high schooler, as kind of a young person, just kind of get ahead in that sort of aspect. And also, you all also have like a lot of autonomy over your role, so you have a lot of like freedoms. Just like if you're, for example, you don't want to do it the way we're doing it, and you have like a better way, and you are successful in that, you can actually do it however you want. Yeah, there's also a lot of different ways you can actually join the business side of the team. So if you're big into presenting, but not really into writing proposals, you can obviously be the one pitching to companies, and same with vice versa. But there's a lot more roles. Yeah, those are just sort of a few that I'm talking about. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of things for you to do on the team. But yeah.
Hi, my name's Maya. I'm a senior, and I'm here to talk about the marketing part of robotics. So my first exposure to the team was actually through outreach. Back in 2023, Zizou convinced Helene and I to volunteer at the SF Marin Food Bank with the robotics team. Even though it was way too bright and early for a Saturday morning, all of the team was super upbeat and excited. Community is at the heart of robotics, so volunteering is our way to connect and give back. One of my first projects on the team was creating the logo. I was immediately able to explore even with no experience, but that doesn't mean I was without guidance. Someone was always there to answer my questions. This contributed to one of my favorite traditions, pin trading. Every team puts their logo on pins or buttons and trades them out at competitions, which is a great way to start a conversation with someone new and just connect to local and global teams. Team spirit is so key to robotics and honestly one of my favorite parts. Besides just being silly in costume, Helene and I spent a lot of our time at competitions scouting. At Central Valley and San Francisco Regionals, we made a point to officially talk to every single team there. At Worlds, we talked to teams from New York, Texas, Brazil, Canada, Turkey, Australia, Mexico, and so many more. But talking about strategy, we learned could be so much more than just how much does your battery weigh, what size is your wheel. We got to ask teams from all over the world, how and why did you build this way in response to the same challenge? But of course, you're not just stuck in one role in robotics. Even if you want to focus on coding, for example, you're still able to build, fundraise, scout, or do anything that you're interested in. The only requirement for robotics is excitement. Everything else is learned through experience. We hope you join and have a lot of fun with us. If you have any questions, we'd love to hear from you, so email us or just come find us in the halls. And thank you.